Hello, everybody, and welcome to another eCourse Adventures coaching campfire. We do these sessions every week. It's included in the membership for the Great eCourse Adventure because we believe every single creative, creator, or entrepreneur, whatever you are out there, whatever you're building, we all need coaching. We all need support. We all need that creative inspiration, and it needs to be happening on a regular, rhythmic occasions. So we do it every Monday at noon PST. We record these, and then we share a small snippet from these coaching sessions on the blog. So this week, we're digging into script writing. Going to do a little script writing 101 presentation for you. Because every month we do a challenge for our eCourse Adventures members. And the challenge is basically a way to support you to learn some new skills, to dive into your creative process in a group setting. And in case you're wondering, there's noises around me. I'm outside recording this right now. I'm in the big city of Victoria, BC, at a hospital, hanging with my aunt. She's not beside me right now, but that's where I am. So, digging into this whole script writing thing, we do a monthly challenge, and this month for March 2018, we're doing a script and storyboard your lessons. So, when building the Great eCourse Adventure, there's 14 checkpoints. Checkpoints are considered modules in case you're not a part of the adventure. And there's about 92 lessons. And when we first got going, we didn't have scripts. We didn't do scripts. We had a basic lesson outline, and we had some notes scribbled down on paper, and those would be on our clipboards. And being eCourse Adventure guides, we were kind of like camp counselors. We had these clipboards with us, and then we would just read the notes, and Andy and I would sort of wing it, and whatever we got, we got. And it was really sloppy, and the lessons were long and drawn out, and we kind of circle around and keep repeating the same thing in a different way, and it was an ineffective way to teach, we learned. And so the higher up the mountain we got, the more creative we got with our lessons, and the more we started to introduce special effects and more storyline, and it just kept getting better and better. And what we came to realize is that we would be more effective to everybody if we wrote a script. And so a few things that we learned is that having a script for every single lesson helped us to get to the point of the lesson way quicker. So our videos went from 5 to 14 minutes to being anywhere from 2 to 4 minutes. And they were way more engaging, way more entertaining, and way more effective as a teaching tool for our students. We just got to the point. We made it really interesting and fun. And the script writing made our production days so much more enjoyable for us and for Blair, who was working the camera, because we could just show up and shoot. We knew the shots we had to take, we knew the lines we had to speak, and everything was better and easier. The script also allows everybody to be more creative in the post-production side of things. Because when you don't have a script, you essentially have, 3 takes, 5 takes, 7 takes, and they're all completely different from each other. And each one has a different way of delivering the information. And so then when you're going to edit it, you have to try and be like, oh yeah, what was the take where I said that really, really well? And then I'm going to mash that together with the other take where I said the other thing really well. And it just makes it a lot harder to sync it all up. Whereas if you write the script, then you have exactly what you want to say, when you say it, in the order you want to say it, and it all just flows so much more seamlessly in the editing process. And then, so that's where script saves you so much time in editing. And then the other piece is, the script is an art form. When you're writing a script and you're creating these storyboards, you get to immerse yourself into that world and imagine what it would be like to be there and to communicate from that space. And instead of just like building these e-courses, you suddenly have this creative process and this creative outlet in your life where you are having fun and you're building these lessons from a creative space rather than I have to do this in order to build my e-course kind of space. So I'm going to take you through our 10-step process for script writing if you were to script out your whole course. Because last month for our challenge, we did a map out your whole course, like the lesson outlines um, and basic call to actions and exactly what's going to happen in which module and which lesson. And so this month, it's time to take those lesson outlines and create a script and a storyboard so that when it comes time to produce, you're ready to rock and roll and you've got the best plan you possibly can. So the first thing we do, which I just said, is you write out your lessons and modules, and that's just an outline. You want to be sure that you're clear on the purpose or the result of each lesson so that each lesson has one really specific thing that you're trying to teach, and it has a really clear call to action for the student to go away from that lesson and actually apply it in some real life way. That you're not just giving them information and telling them to go to the next lesson. That there's an actual way that they can apply that to their life or to what it is that you're teaching them. And then once you've got that, it's really about knowing what your world is. So in eCourse Adventures, we call this themification, that you're not just creating, these black and white, boring PDFs and PowerPoints, that you use a theme to create a more immersive learning environment for your students to enter into. For the Great eCourse Adventure, we're climbing a mountain. For a master class, we're traveling through space to the new world of online education. In our Green Screen Magic course, which we're in full production mode for right now, and that'll be available sometime around May, you are a magician's apprentice, and you're learning how to create more exciting online learning experiences by using the power of the green screen to create e-learning illusions. So you're going to learn to do what we do in the Great eCourse Adventure, to turn your lessons into a world that you bring your students in, and instead of just being a student on their computer, they become an inhabitant of the place that you're creating for them to learn. And so you have to have a clear vision of what that world is, and where you're bringing your students into, and what your theme is, and how do you bring that theme to life through your videos, your audios, the languaging you use, the metaphors you speak, the images on the website, the color schemes, the fonts, all of that stuff brings it to life. And then what is your overall vibe? If your course was a person, what would the personality of your course be? Once you really have a basic outline of your world that you're creating, then you can move on to imagining yourself in that world. Who are you as the teacher? In the Great eCourse Adventure, we're eCourse Adventure guides. In our master class, I am the captain of the eCourse Frontier Starship, and Andy is the pilot. In our Green Screen Magic course, I am the magician, and Blair is the magician's assistant, the Great Blairdini. And so you need to imagine how you are in the world. Are you a character? I mean, obviously, even when you're a character, you're just being yourself. You might just have a costume to make that world more real. And so how do you fit into that world? How are you communicating with your students? What are your students called? In eCourse Adventures, our students are eCourse Adventurers. In the master class, you are a recruit and you're in training. And the Green Screen Magic course, you're the magician's apprentice. And so you need to figure out who your students are and how you fit into that environment that you're creating around yourself. Once you've got that, then choose a lesson. Choose the lesson that inspires you most for the first lesson that you write. Because you want to be inspired when you're doing this. You don't want to just go through an order because that's what you should do. You should pick a lesson that really inspires you. And with that lesson, and the main points that you have for that lesson and the world that you're starting to imagine, then begin to work on that lesson. And you're going to create a rough storyboard for that lesson. So you create the storyboard before you create the script, because you want to just write some point form notes of where are you, what's the scene, what's the shot, what props or tools could you use within that world to help make it even more believable. In one of the Green Screen Magic scenes, we're at a bar, and we create this imaginary bar through the green screen, and we teach you to do that. And the thing that we're interacting with to make it even more realistic is we both have wine glasses, and I had kombucha in mine, and Blair had some cherry juice, and it just makes it more believable. And so for you, if you can have some props, in the Great eCourse Adventure, we had a clipboard. There's lots of things that you can use that are very, very simple little cues that just help make the environment a little bit more real. And then just imagining yourself and how you want the information or lessons being delivered. Visually, what does it look like in this space? And we always, and this is Blair's doing. We always find the background before we create the lessons, before we shoot anything. You want to have an idea of where you are, so that as you're writing your script, you can really see yourself there. Once you've got your world essentially created in your storyboard for that particular scene, aka lesson, then you write your first draft. And just write it in the quick and dirty version. Talk how you would talk if you were the person. Use some subtle metaphors and cues that make this world more believable, so you can interact with your background. Some of the lessons in the Green Screen Magic course were on a stage in a theater. And another lesson, we're going on an elevator ride where you have to do your elevator pitch, and then we teach you to recreate that scene. And so just write the first draft of that. You don't want to go for perfection. You just want to see if you can write the script from that space of you're in this world now. And then once you've written the first draft of your script, read it out loud, not in your head, because you want it to come natural as it comes out of your mouth. And so write the script and just see how it feels as you read it. Don't stop yourself. Don't judge yourself. Just read it, imagining yourself in the world. And then once you've gone through it, go back through it and edit and refine it. Spend some more time. And don't worry about perfecting it at this stage of the game, because you'll get to that. You have so many more lessons probably, or several more lessons anyways, that you want to write. And so go through and do 1 or 2 revisions of that one lesson until you get to the point that you're pretty satisfied and you've got a solid template for the next lessons that you're going to work on. And then you go through before you do your final script and storyboard, you're going to basically go through and make sure you have your full storyboard and your script dialed into the point that you're ready to step in front of the camera. And for the day of your shoot, for every single lesson, you want to have a little point form list of the angles and the shots that you need, the visuals, the scenes, the costumes, all that sort of stuff. And we provide a checklist in the Great E-Course Adventure when you get to that section. But you need to have all of that really well prepared. And basically, you just repeat that process with each and every single lesson. And something that I always encourage, because I see so many people get stuck, is you just need to keep movement going. So if you're writing a draft, or you finish your first draft and you get into refining, don't spend weeks and weeks trying to refine one lesson. Move yourself forward. Create the first draft of all your lessons and then go through and refine them. And then basically you just repeat this process. Lesson outline, simple storyboard, write your first draft, read it out loud, do a little edit and refining, and then dial in each lesson, the final version, so you're ready for shoot day. And continue to repeat. If you're not in the Great E-Course Adventure, then come check us out. thegreatecourseadventure.com. It's free for your first 14 days. That's just $35 a month. You get coaching every week. We bring in experts. You get the course. You get discounts on new courses we create. And we've got an amazing community of people who are looking to rethink online education. What are the possibilities when we merge art and entertainment, gamification, storytelling, and all the different types of media tools that we have available to us right now? How good could we make e-learning? How good could you teach what it is that you're inspired to teach the world? I guarantee it, you can get way more creative than what you're thinking. And so we've got lots of free resources. Check it out. And if you're part of the Great E-Course Adventure, thank you. Thank you for saying yes to this journey. Thank you for wanting to do better work in the world, to wanting to focus on a student learning experience that really makes you proud and really inspires your people to take action and move forward. I'm definitely grateful for that. So with your script writing, you just have to book the time to do it. Get into an inspired state. For me, I like to move my body, do a little workout, have a bunch of rough notes in my journal. I usually go for a nice walk in nature with my journal to think about the scripts and the scenes and that, and then I come back and I'll do all my main writing at my computer in my office. So find your creative process. There's no rules to this. What I've shared today is just a basic outline on how we do things for all of our script writing, and we've found that script writing has helped us to make way better media experiences. Our Green Screen Magic course that we're working on right now, we're super duper stoked because we're putting in the time and the effort to write really solid scripts and storyboards, and we think you're going to be absolutely delighted as you go through and you learn how to make some green screen magic tricks for yourself. So thanks for tuning in to this week's lesson. Stay tuned for more, and have yourself an absolutely glorious week.